Right, so welcome grade 10s to Tutorbox Live in connection with COVID-19 catch-up courses. I'm Lisa, the maths tutor. So guys, this is our second session. So if you missed the first session, you can just go back and watch it. It's on the number system. And today, we're going to be looking at algebraic expressions. Woo! Let's do it.
Hi, grade 10s. Welcome to our second session. So today we'll be looking at algebraic expressions. So we just introduce these and then let's just see how far we go. Okay. So let's start. So we have algebraic expressions. Let's just do some revision from grade 9, right? So we'll start with the multiplication of algebraic expressions. Okay. So there's something called the distributive law. You should remember this, right? So basically it says if you have A, open brackets, this A is multiplying everything in this bracket, which is B plus C, right? This will be equal to, so you're going to just distribute, okay? So you're going to first multiply the A times the B. There is my A, B, D, and then you have the A times the C. Okay, and then there's my AC. So my answer for A bracket B plus C will be equal to AB plus AC, right? So to verify this law, we can substitute given numbers for the variables. So suppose that A is 2. So if A is 2 here and B is 3, that will be 2 times 3, which is 6. And C is 4. So C is 4 here. And then remember A is 2. So this will be 8. Okay, so you have 8 plus 6, that should give you 14. Okay, so that's what's written here. So the left hand side, the A bracket B plus C close bracket will be equal to 2, and then in brackets you have 3 plus 4, you get 14, right? So this part here, if you substitute the 3 and the 4, you should get 7, and then you multiply by 2, you get 14. And then the right hand side as well, if you do the maths, you should get 14. Okay, so that means this is true. This law actually holds. Okay, so therefore, 2 bracket 3 plus 4 is equal to 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. Right. And then let's just also recap on the product of two binomials. So consider the product A plus B and then C plus D. So we can apply the distributive law as follows, right? So we have A plus B and then C plus D there, right? So first what we're going to do is we're going to take this A plus B, we're going to multiply it by C, okay? And then with a plus, now we take the A plus B and then we multiply it with a D, okay? So this will be equal to C, A plus B, and then plus D, A plus B, okay? So you see it's sort of like the same form as that, right? So if you simplify further, you get CA plus CB plus DA plus DB. This will be equal to AC plus AD plus BC plus BD, right? Okay, so this can also be done using the FOIL method. I'm sure some of you have already covered this at school this year. So this can also be done using the FOIL method. Here you must first multiply the first terms in each bracket. Then you multiply the outer terms, then the inner terms, and finally the last terms. Okay, so this F is for firsts, the O is for outers, the I is for inners, and the L is for last. Okay, so let's just quickly look at it. It's a very fun way of remembering what to do. So you have open bracket A plus B, close your bracket, open bracket C plus D, right? So the first variables there. So that's what you're multiplying. The first. So you have A times C, that there is my AC there. Okay. And then now let's go to the outers. The outers now is the A and the D. Okay. So that would be A times D, which is my AD. Okay. And then I do the inners. The inners is the B and the C. That's B times C, which is BC. And then now I do the last, which is the B and the D. And then I get my BD. Okay. Right. So using this method, let's just quickly look at some examples, right? So it says expand and simplify the following. So we have x plus 2, x plus 3. So guys, please note we are expanding and simplifying. We're not factorizing. So when they say expand and simplify, they basically mean simplify it until you get an answer that doesn't have any brackets. And then when they say factorize, they mean put it back into the brackets. Okay, but then we'll look at factorization later on. Right now, let's just focus on expanding and simplifying, removing the brackets. Okay, so we're using FOIL. Let me just go back so you guys can see it clearly. So it's the first, the outers, the inners, and then the last. Okay, so let's just expand this part. So we have x times x, that's x squared, x times 3, that's 3x, 2 times x, that'll be 2x, and then 2 times 3, that'll be 6. So this will be equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, and then b, we have 2y minus 1, 3y plus 4. We do the same thing, 2y times 3y, that will give me 6y squared. Okay, remember laws of exponents, guys, because you have a y raised to the power of 1, and then here you also have a y raised to the power of 1, and you're multiplying these, you have the same base. So basically all you're going to do is add your powers, right, or your exponents, right? So you have 6y squared plus 2y times the 4, that's 8y, minus 1 times the 3y, it will be minus 3y because the sign goes with the number. Okay, so it's minus 3y, and then minus 1 times the 4, that will give us minus 4. And then now what you can do is when you're working these out, right, to make things easier, you can just highlight the like terms in the same color. Like 6y squared, you can highlight it maybe in like blue, and then 8y and minus 3y you can maybe highlight in yellow, so that you know that they're the same term, or they have the same variable and stuff. Okay, so this will be 6y squared plus 5y, 8y minus 3y, that gives us 5y minus 4. Okay, and then we have c, we have 4x minus 2y times 3x minus y. We do the same thing, 4x times 3x, that gives us 12x squared. And then 4x times minus y, that gives us minus 4xy, okay? And then minus 2y times 3x, that gives us minus 6xy, and then minus 2y times minus y, that gives us plus 2y squared, okay? Because a minus times a minus gives us a positive, okay? So that's 2y squared there. If you're not sure, guys, please use your calculators. And then this will be equal to, again, like terms, so maybe this is like highlighted in pink, these two are in green, and then this last one maybe is in blue. So this will be equal to 12x squared minus 10x minus 4 minus 6, that'll be minus 10xy plus the 2y squared. Okay, and then d is the same thing. We have 3ab, ab there, and then plus 2 minus 3. Okay, so we have 3ab times ab, that will be 3a squared b squared, right? Because laws of exponents, remember, we have the same base, so we're just going to add the exponents there. Okay, and then minus 9ab plus 2ab minus 6. This will be equal to 3a squared b squared minus 7ab minus 6. And then lastly, we have 2x cubed plus 7y and x cubed minus 2y. This will be equal to 2x to the 6, because same base, we're adding exponents, which is 6, minus 4x cubed y plus 7x cubed y minus 14y squared. So it simplifies to this part. Okay, this should be very easy, guys. And then now let's look at squaring a binomial. Consider the following expressions, right? So we're squaring a binomial. A binomial, guys, is an expression with two terms. So in this case, this is a binomial. Just ignore the squared for now. This part, the a plus b, is a binomial because this is the first term, that's the second term. Okay, so it's the same thing here. You have the first term and the second term, so that's also going to be a binomial, right? So we're squaring a binomial. So squaring a binomial, they basically mean we're squaring the binomial, right? Okay, so this will be equal to a plus b, because squared basically means you're taking that thing and you're multiplying by itself like 2 times. So if a plus b, and then it's the same thing here, it's a minus b. Okay, so let's first just look at this one, right? So we have a plus b, and then now we want to use our FOIL method that we just learned. So this will be a squared plus ab plus ba plus b squared. Okay, a squared, a times a squared, A times B, AB, B times A, BA, B times B, B squared. This will be equal to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Right, and then this part, we have A minus B squared. This will be equal to A minus B, which will be equal to A squared. Now they are negatives, so that'll be A times minus B, that's minus AB, minus B times A, that's minus BA, plus B squared, because it's a minus B times a minus B, so you get a B squared. So this will be equal to A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Right, so therefore, you have A plus B squared. So this is the formula for the A plus B squared, right? So the A plus B is in the brackets and you're squaring that. So this will be equal to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared, right? So guys, in case maybe you forget in the test or in the exam, right? So you can just think of it as the one with the plus, the A plus B squared, right? Everything will be plus. Like this will be plus, that sign will be plus there, okay? But then for the negative, the first sign will be negative and then the other one is a plus, okay? Next up, in other words, the pattern is as follows. First term plus last term squared is equal to first term squared plus 2 times first term times last term plus last term squared, okay? So you can just go back here and we check. So we have our A squared, that's our first term squared, plus 2 first term times second term plus second term squared. Right. Okay. Now we need to look at some examples on that part. So it says expand and simplify the following. So if ax plus 3 squared. Okay. So some of you already know the formula, right? So, but then we know that this will be the first term squared plus 2 first term, right, times the second term. Remember, you see now, there's a reason why I put the plus 3 there, okay? I put the plus 3 so that you know that the number actually goes with the sign, okay? And then plus 3 squared. Okay, so this will be equal to x squared plus 6x plus 9. And then b, we have x minus 3 squared, right? So you do the same thing, use that formula, and you should get x squared minus 6x plus 9. And then for c, we have 4x plus 2y squared. So our first term is now 4x, and our second term is now plus 2y. Okay, so that's why there we have equal 4x squared plus 2, 4x 2y plus 2y squared. This simplifies to 16x squared plus 16xy plus 4y squared. Okay, and then d, with the opposite of this, so it's 4x minus 2y squared. So already you should know, remember that hint that I told you, if it's a plus, just know that the signs will be plus plus, but then if it's a minus, just know that the first sign will be minus and then the last one is a plus. So you can see there. Okay, so if 16x squared minus 16xy plus 4y squared. And then e, we have minus 2a minus 5b, all that squared. So our first term is now minus 2a, our second term is minus 5b. So we just put it there in that formula, and then we get 4a squared plus 20ab, right? Guys, I trust you with multiplication. I mean, minus 5 times minus 2 times 2, you should get 20. Okay, 4a squared plus 20ab plus 25b squared. Okay, so that'll be your answer. right. On to the next section. Okay, guys, so we're doing difference of two squares, right? So consider the following expression. So we have x plus y and x minus y. So, okay, let me just explain this part first. So we have difference of two squares, right? So you know that a square is basically like something with the power of 2 at the top. So difference of two squares basically means you take one square, right, and then you subtract another square. Difference of two squares, right? So let's look at it. So it says consider the following expression with x plus y in brackets times x minus y. So if x plus y, this sign is positive, times x minus y, this sign is negative, right? So this will be equal to, right, let's do our FOIL. We get x squared minus xy plus xy minus y squared. So if you notice, these two are the same, right? So that this one is subtracting, this one is adding. So basically this will be 0. So you get your answer to be x squared minus y squared, right? So in other words, as you can see, this is a difference of two squares. So we have this part, that's our first square, and then we have this part here, that's our second square, right? So in other words, the pattern is as follows. First term plus last term, and then first term minus last term. So this will be equal to first term squared minus last term squared, right? And then we have first term minus last term, and then first term plus last term. This will also be equal to first term squared minus last term squared, right? So basically here they're just telling you that it doesn't matter. You can even start with x minus y in brackets, and then you multiply x plus y, right? So it doesn't matter whether you start with this second one here on the first side, or you start with the first one, or you start with this positive one, then you go to the negative, or the other way around. Still, you're going to get a difference of two squares. All right. Example 3. It says expand and simplify the following, right? So we have 2x plus 3y, 2x minus 3y. Already you should like notice that this will become a difference of two squares, because you have this guy here with a positive, and then you have this other guy here with a negative. And then this first term is the same as that first term. The second term is the same as that second term. So basically it's a difference of two squares. Okay. So when they say difference of two squares, what you're going to do is you're going to get this first term, and then you get the square of the first term. Everything here is going to be squared. So you're going to square the 2. There is my 4 there. You're going to square the x. There is my x squared. And then you come this side as well. You're going to square the 3. There is my 9. You're going to square the y. There is my y squared. Okay, don't forget it's difference of two squares. So there should be a negative sign there. Okay, then let's look at B. B, we have 5a minus b and 5a plus b. So this will be equal to, you see, difference of two squares, same term, same there. So then this side now we have a negative, this side is a positive, but it's still the same thing, right? So this will be 25a squared minus b squared. This 5a squared, if I square everything, I get 25a squared, and then this b, I get b squared. Okay, and C now. C, we got 3x cubed minus 4y to the 4, and then 3x cubed plus 4y to the 4. Don't let this like fool you guys. This is very easy stuff, okay? Just because now they've added cubed and 4, they're like, what? Nah, it's easy. So you have 3x cubed minus 4y to the 4, 3x cubed plus 4y to the 4. Just first check, okay, do I have the first terms? Are they the same? Yeah. The second terms, are they the same? Okay. And then the signs, there's a plus and there's a minus. Oh, what is that? Difference of two squares. So you get your answer now. You just take your first term, you square that. Remember, you're squaring everything, like everything here. You're not just squaring the x. You're squaring everything. So you're going to square the 3, you get the 9. If you square the x to the 3, basically what you're doing is you're putting a bracket there and another bracket there, and then you're squaring that, right? And then remember the laws of exponents, right? So when you have a power inside a bracket and then there's a power outside the bracket, you basically just multiply the powers only, right? So that would be x6, right? And then minus, you do the same thing here, 4 squared, that would be 16. Y 4 times 2, that would be y8. Okay. And then now let's look at B. So B, we have A, B, C. This is meant to be D, guys. Sorry about that. This is D. So if A minus B plus C, and then A minus B minus C. Whoa, whoa, what is happening now? What is happening now, guys? Don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, right? So this will be equal to, we have A minus B, right? So first notice something here. So we have the A minus B, right? So, and this part we also have the A minus B, right? So what you can basically do is just put like another bracket there to separate the A minus B and make it one term, one binomial term, okay? And then you also do the same thing this side for the A minus B, okay? So this is what we did on the second step there, because this term is the same as that term, and then this C is the same as that C there, and then there is that change of sign, okay? So we're going to have our bigger brackets, and then we're going to make the A minus B into smaller brackets plus C, and then we also have A minus B minus C. Right, now this is equal to, you see, now it looks like a difference of squares. Yay! So we have A minus B plus C minus C. So that'll be A minus B squared minus C squared. Right, okay. And then here, you can't leave it like this, right? Because remember, we're expanding and simplifying. So we don't want any brackets in our answer. So if we expand and simplify this guy, we're going to get A minus B, A times A minus B, right? And then this should be our answer, A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Just use FOIL to check this part, minus C squared. Right, okay, so now let's just look at the product of a binomial and a trinomial, right? So there's our example there. So it says expand and simplify the following. So guys, we're still expanding. We're still trying to get rid of the brackets. That's all we're doing. Right, so let me just explain. Binomial, I've already explained that part. So it's an expression that has two terms, and the trinomial is basically an expression with three terms. Okay, as you can see there, we have x squared minus 2xy and 3y squared. Right, so now we want the product of a binomial and a trinomial. Okay, so it's actually the same thing. You're using FOIL. It's just that now it's a try and a buy. It's not like a bye-bye, right? I kill myself. Right, so so then what we're going to do is we have x, right? So this x, if you remember the distributive law, so this x is going to multiply this second bracket there, right? And then minus 2y, this minus 2y is also going to multiply that second bracket there, right? So then now what we're going to do is we're going to simplify this part. So we have x times x squared. So with x times x squared, and then we get x cubed minus 2x squared y plus 3xy squared, and then we have minus 2x squared y plus 4xy squared, and then minus 6y cubed. Okay, and then you can use your highlighters, right? So you have the x3 there. Do we have another x3? Nope, I don't see any. And then we have the 2x squared y. Is there another 2x squared y? Yep, I see it over there. And then we have the 3xy squared and the 4xy squared together. And then the minus 6y cubed is by itself. Okay, so now we just have to simplify that further. So this will be equal to x cubed, right? This minus 2x squared y and minus 2x squared y, that will give us minus 4x squared y, and then the plus 3xy squared with the plus 4xy squared. that will give us plus 7xy squared, and then lastly we have minus 6y cubed, right? And then part B. Okay, so part B, we have a minus 3b cubed, right? So that means that we're multiplying this by itself 3 times. That's what we're doing. Okay, so let's just break it down. First we have a minus 3b, and then this will multiply a minus 3b, a minus 3b. Okay, so that's why it's written there, a minus 3b times a minus 3b squared. Okay, and then now this will be equal to a minus 3b, and then we know this formula here, guys. Remember, we have a minus, so now this becomes a minus, and that's a plus, and then you just use that formula that we started off with, okay, for a minus 3b squared, right? But if you've forgotten this formula, you can just like work it from first principles, where you just do a minus 3b, then you use FOIL. You should also get the same answer, right? And then from there, because it's a binomial and a trinomial, so you can just basically use your distributive law. So you're going to start with a here. So this a will multiply the x squared minus 6ab plus 9b. And then we have minus 3b. This will also multiply this whole bracket there, right? So that's a squared minus 6ab plus 9b squared, right? And then we simplify this part with a cubed minus 6a squared b plus 9ab squared minus 3a squared b plus 18, because minus 3b times minus 6ab, that'll give us a positive 18. ab squared, yes, okay. And then minus 3b and plus 9b squared, that'll be minus 27b cubed, okay. And then we use our highlighters, right? So for A3, is there any other A3? Nope, I don't see any other. Okay, and then for minus 6a squared b, there's an a squared b there. Okay, so if I minus 6 and I minus 3, I get minus 9. That's fine. And then I have minus ab squared and 18ab squared. No, this is a positive, sorry, that's positive 9ab squared and positive 18ab squared. That'll be 27ab squared, and then minus 3a squared b minus 27b cubed. These are minus ab squared minus 3a squared b. Oh, okay, so this minus 3a squared b will go with this minus 6 there. Okay, we've already done that. And then lastly, we have the 27b cubed minus 27b cubed. Okay, guys. Whoa, that was a lot. Right, and then now time for some exercises. Okay, so you guys are working these out. I'll just give you, let me see, how long should it take to do this? So I'll just give you 1 minute, 30 seconds. Okay, you can start. Guys, for E, just be careful here. Just be careful of this negative. So first, just do this brackets here. Just simplify this part using FOIL, right? Or if you can notice something about it, then do that. And then you can just include the negative sign after you've simplified this part. Okay. I'll just show you guys later how to do it quickly with the minus outside. For now, just simplify this part first and then multiply with your minus. Okay guys, I think you're done. Right, and then I'll just give you, this one's a bit longer, so I'll just give you 2 minutes to do this one, so you can just try I, am, and you. Just go as far as you can, okay? Algebraic. Quick math. Quick math. Okay, let's see how far you guys got. Okay, so there are answers. So for the first one, we have 2y bracket y plus 4 is equal to 2y squared plus 8y. Right, so basically what we did here is we have 2y times the y, which is 2y squared, 2y times the 4, which is 8y. Right, and then b, we had y plus 5, y plus 2. Right, so we're using FOIL here. So we have y squared plus 2y plus 5y plus 10. So your final answer should be y squared plus 7y plus 10. Okay, and then E, we have minus 4 minus x, x plus 4. So I asked you guys to first do this. Just ignore the minus first. So you first simplify this part, right? So you get 4x plus the 16 minus the x squared and then minus the 4x. This will be minus 16 minus x squared, right? And then if we now multiply with our minus there, you can think of it as a minus 1 outside. So if we now multiply by that minus 1, we get minus 16, and a minus times a minus will give us a plus, which is plus x squared. And then so our answer is x squared minus 16. You should see that this is a difference of 2 squares. Right, that's a difference of 2 squares. And then I, we have 2y to the 6 plus 3y to the 5 minus 5y minus 12, right? So you do FOIL as well. You should get minus 10y to the 7, minus 24y to the 6, minus 15y to the 6, minus 36y to the 5. You just like highlight the like terms together. Then you have minus 10y to the 7, minus 39y to the 6, minus 36y to the 5. Okay. And then for u, we had 3k to the 3 times k squared plus 3 plus 2k squared times 6k to the 3 plus 7. So this will become 3k to the 5 because you have 3k cubed times k squared. That will be k5 plus this times that. That is 9k to the 3 plus 12k squared times 6k cubed. That will be 12k to the 5 plus 14k squared. Do the same thing, your highlighters, you choose the like terms. You have 3k to the 5, 12k to the 5. If I add those, I get 15k to the 5. And then I also have 9k to the 3. There's my 9k to the 3 and my 14k squared. There's my 14k squared. And then finally, for M, we have 10y plus 3 and minus 2y squared minus 11y plus 2. So this will be equal to minus 20y3 minus 110y squared. Okay, let me just show you guys here. So we have 10y, right, and then times minus 2y squared, that's minus 20y cubed, right? And then we have 10y times the minus 11y. We get minus 110y squared, and then minus 10y times the 2, we get plus 20. Remember, if it's a binomial and a trinomial, just use the distributive law, okay? So you first take this term, multiply by the whole thing, take the second term, multiply by the whole thing, right? And then you continue, you come here to the 3 and the minus 2, you get minus 6. The 3 and the minus 11, you get minus 33. The 3 and the 2, you get 6. And then you simplify, you should get this answer. Okay. So if you guys have any questions on this, you can just like meet me during the Q&A session and then you can ask me. Okay. Right. Next up, with factorization of algebraic expressions, right? So before we're looking at expanding and simplifying, now we're looking at factorization. So basically now we're doing the opposite of expanding and simplifying. Now I want to put it back in the brackets. Okay, so factorization, what are we doing here? So we're taking out the highest common factor. Note guys, it's the highest common factor, right? So factorization is the reverse of multiplication, right? Consider the reverse procedure of the distributive law. So with AB plus AC, this will be equal to, you remove the highest common factor. So a variable that occurs in AB and also occurs in AC is A, right? So you just take out your A and then you have B plus C, right? Example 5. So it says factorize the following expressions. We have A is 12x squared plus 8x to the 5. So the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. Guys, you did factors in like grade 5, I think. So the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. And then the factors of 8 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, right? So therefore, the highest common factor between 12 and 8 is 4. Okay, so you can do this, but now in grade 10, you shouldn't actually be doing this. You should be able to get the highest common factor using your head for something that's easy like this. Okay, so our highest common factor between 12 and 8 is 4, right? The expression x squared can be written as x times x, and the expression x to the 5 can be written as x times a. Oh, yeah. 5x's, right? Therefore, the highest common factor between x squared and x5 is x squared, right? There we have an x squared and then there we have an x squared there, okay? So therefore, the highest common factor between 12x squared and 8x to the 5 is 4x squared, okay? Right. And then now we have some examples. Okay, so for B, we have 15a to the 4b to the 6 minus 3ab squared. So we want to take out the highest common factor there, right? So the highest common factor will be 3ab squared, okay? So therefore, 15a to the 4b 6 minus 3ab squared, this will be equal to 3ab squared, right? Times 5 times 5a cubed b4 minus 3ab squared times 1. Okay, so guys, just from this step, right, just come, you can either do this part or you can just come straight here. Once you've discovered that the highest common factor is, let's say in this case is 3ab squared, right, you can just take out the 3ab squared and then you now divide with that highest common factor, right, for each term. So you have 15a 4b6 divided by 3ab squared. You'll be left with 5a cubed b4, and then this side as well, you'll be left with minus 1. Okay, and then for C, quickly, we have 2a x plus y minus 3b x plus y. The highest common factor is equal to x plus y, right? One that's common here is x plus y, and the other one that's common there is x plus y. 2 is not really common because, well, if you divide the 3 with the 2 there, you're going to get some remainders and decimals and stuff, so we don't want that. So the highest common factor will be x plus y, right? So if I take out my x plus y there, for the first term, if I divide this by x plus y, because I took out x plus y, I'll be left with 2a, and then here I'll be left with minus 3b. So that's how, that is my final answer. Right, do you see that for factorization, the answers are actually in brackets, okay? And then for D, we have x minus 1 to the 5 minus x minus 1 squared. So you can already see that the highest common factor will be x minus 1 squared, right? Okay, because x minus 1 squared is present here and it's also present here. Okay, so if I take out my x minus 1 squared, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm dividing these parts by x minus 1 squared. If I do that, I'll be left with x minus 1 cubed and minus 1 the side. Okay, because x minus 1 squared divided by x minus 1 squared is basically 1. Okay, so you can do this part, these two steps, but then these two steps I just put them so that you guys can see where it's coming from. And if you're really lost and you're just like, oh, okay, Okay, I can just look at these and make more sense of them. But then if you understand, then you can just like jump to this final step here. You don't really have to do these two. Okay. Right, so the next example involves changing the sign before a bracket before taking out the common bracket. So before discussing the next example, let's just consider these expressions and see how they relate to each other. So we have plus 2b minus a and also minus 2b plus a, right? So if I simplify this guy here, I'm going to get plus 2b, and then here I'm going to get minus a, because a plus times a minus will give me a minus, right? If I rewrite this, I'll get minus a plus 2b. Same thing here. I have minus now, and then minus 2b plus a. Okay, so this will be equal to 2b minus a, which is equal to minus a plus 2b, right? So that means that we're getting the same thing, right? So basically this and this are the same, right? So here they just rewrote in a different way, but these two are the same. Okay, so therefore it is true that plus 2b minus a is equal to minus 2b plus a, right? So if you want to check it, you just have your minus and your minus 2b there, that'll be a positive, and then your minus and your plus, that will be a negative, right? So you can write this as plus 2b minus a is equal to minus a minus 2b, right? So let's just look at some examples. So if plus, and then in brackets we have 3y minus x, this will be equal to minus, right, in brackets minus 3y plus the x, right? So this I can rewrite as minus x, I put the positive one first, x minus 3y. Okay, so if now I want to check whether this and that are the same, I just simply expand this part. So I'll get minus x plus 3y, which is what I have here, 3y minus x. Okay, same thing here with minus 3y minus x. This will be equal to plus minus 3y plus x, which will be equal to plus x minus 3y. And then also here with minus 3y minus x is equal to plus 3y plus x. And then we just get plus x plus 3y, right? Okay, so therefore, if you change the sign before the brackets, change the signs of the terms when writing them in the brackets, right? So if you change the sign before the brackets, also make sure that you change the signs of the terms when writing them in the brackets, right? So let's just quickly look at this example. So we factorize 2a, 3x minus 2y plus 5b 2y minus 3x, right? So you notice that here we have 3x minus 2y, but then here we have the 2y as positive, which is the opposite of this, and the minus 3x, which is also the opposite of that, right? So we want to get this to be exactly like that so that we can then factorize easily. Okay, so what you can do is you can either change this one to look like this one, or change the second one here to look like that one there, right? So this will be equal to 2a 3x minus 2y. So here we're changing the second one, this one, so that it looks like the first one there. Okay, and then so basically we want to make 2y negative, and then we want to make 3x positive. Okay, so we're going to factor out a negative here, right? So remember, if you change the sign before the bracket, you change the signs of the terms when writing them in the brackets. So now I'll get the minus 5x. I've changed this, right? Now I'm going to change the signs inside. I get minus 2y plus now 3x, right? So now you notice this is actually the same as that guy there. 3x, there's my 3x, minus 2y, there's my minus 2y. So now this is equal to 2a, 3x minus 2y minus 5b, 3x minus 2y. And then now I can just factor out the common factor there, which is 3x minus 2y. There's my 3x minus 2y. And then now I get my 2a and my minus 5b. So my answer will be 3x minus 2y times 2a minus 5b.
Right, so bye, great times. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to tell your friends to also subscribe so that they can benefit from these lessons. Guys, stay safe. Bye.